By the 1600s, Madrid had become the fixed seat of Spain's court, a capital shaped by proximity to power, constant provisioning, and paperwork. Within a single century, the city would expand, burn, rebuild, and tighten its routines around the needs of the court. In this video, I use modern AI tools to bring historic paintings, maps, and engravings to life, shifting perspective, changing viewpoints, and moving through these scenes in ways their original artists never could. The goal is not just to look at the past, but to step into it, to move through Madrid as it once was and approximate what it felt like to stand here, inside a city run by access and procedure. And if you stay until the end, we'll compare several of these locations to how they look today, to see what time has changed and what still remains. Before we move into individual landmarks, it helps to define the city we are entering. Madrid in the 1600s is not a port capital. Its power does not sit on a harbour. It sits in rooms, in corridors, in petitions, and in schedules. It moves through gates and offices and into ledgers. This is the Royal Alcázar of Madrid, the principal royal residence on the site where the royal palace stands today. In the 1600s, this is where proximity becomes policy. Not everyone approaches the same doors. Not every request reaches the same desk. What the sources preserve is the palace's role and position at the center of court life. What we add here is controlled motion, servants carrying goods, messengers carrying paper, guards regulating passage. The details are reconstruction, constrained by the known function of a court residence. A court is not only ceremony, it is logistics. Food, fuel, textiles, horses, candles. All of it arrives on time, or it becomes visible as failure. Inventory, seals, keys, cloaks, torches, bundles, paper. The risk here is closeness. Favor and punishment circulate in the same corridors. A capital begins to govern itself around that circulation. Now we step outward into the city's shared spaces. This is Puerta del Sol, a node of movement that grows more important as Madrid grows around it. A place where roads converge and attention accumulates. In a city without a harbour, junctions matter. They gather traffic, they gather news, they gather enforcement. This view shows density without spectacle. People moving with purpose, loads on backs, messages in hands, work continuing because work is the city's baseline condition. What the sources preserve is the place and its centrality in Madrid's circulation. What we add is plausible street rhythm, comings and goings that match the logic of a growing capital. Inventory, notices, coins, baskets, water jugs, ink. The risk is friction. Crowds compress, disputes begin, and in a junction, disputes do not stay private. Puerta del Sol functions as a junction, a bulletin space, and a pressure point. At the city's western edge, movement narrows. This is the Puente de Segovia, spanning the Manzanares. It was commissioned under Philip II and built between 1582 and 1584, attributed to Juan de Herrera. 9 arches, stone repetition, an engineered crossing. A bridge like this is not neutral. It concentrates passage into one channel. People, animals, and carts are forced into the same commitment. A single crossing turns into a single checkpoint, whether or not anyone calls it that. What the sources document is the bridge's construction and form. The micro-actions, hesitation, congestion, bargaining for space, are reconstruction. The larger system becomes visible. Resources pulled inward, waste pushed outward, the cycle repeating daily. This is where I started to see the city differently. I didn't realize how often power begins as a question of routing until I started this research. Now we move to the city's most controlled emptiness, Plaza Mayor. Built over the former Plaza del Arrabal market and rebuilt into a planned square in the early 1600s, associated with the reign of Philip III and the architect Juan Gómez de Mora. It is an engineered void designed to be filled, and to be seen filled. This is where a city makes itself legible. Crowds become countable. Commerce becomes inspectable. Ceremony becomes manageable because it takes place inside a bounded frame. This view shows repetition and enclosure, continuous facades, rows of openings, arcades that hold the edge, a ground plane meant for temporary structures and permanent pressure. What the sources preserve is the plaza's form and its long use as a public stage. The precise gestures and ambient noise are reconstruction, kept restrained. One building inside this system signals provisioning as policy. Casa de la Panadería. Its construction began in 1590. Its name points to function. Bread is not only food here, it is stability. A city can calm crowds by regulating supply, not by speeches, by distribution and price. Inventory, bread, scales, coins, barrels, paper notices. The hazard here is density. Crush in moments of pressure. Fire in a space full of timber, cloth, and stored goods. Plaza Mayor burned in major fires in 1631 and again in 1672. That fact is not background. It is a structural risk in any dense enclosure. The first image shows Plaza Mayor operating as order, temporary stands, controlled viewing, movement shaped by edges. The second view looks like rupture. Fire collapses the logic of the square. Smoke spreads faster than instruction. People shift from spectators to salvage. A third aftermath view appears as repair. Facades return because the square must keep working. It forced the city to rebuild, reshape, begin again. If Plaza Mayor is public visibility, municipal government is its paperwork. This is the Buen Retiro, developed in the 1630s under Philip IV. A royal complex built to host leisure, ceremony, and controlled distance from the city. A palace complex is not only architecture, it is supply chains, it is maintenance, it is labor timed to the court's calendar. What the sources preserve is the creation and prominence of the complex in the 17th century. What we add is a disciplined choreography of work, deliveries, preparation, cleaning, guarding. Reconstruction constrained by function, not fantasy. Inventory, torches, harnesses, costumes, invoices, fountains, uniforms. The risk is cost, and the risk of separation. A court that withdraws still requires the city to serve it. Buen Retiro functions as a retreat, a logistics drain, and a signal. Now we bring these scenes into the present. Puerta del Sol is still a hinge in the city's movement. Plaza Mayor still holds the same enclosure, now filled with different commerce. Puente de Segovia still spans the Manzanares, its arches preserved as infrastructure outlasting the traffic it was built for. Madrid in the 1600s was neither romantic nor chaotic. It was procedural. Its power lived in access, supply, and routine, in thresholds rather than proclamations, in schedules and documents as much as in stone. Thank you for watching, and if there's another city, moment, or single scene you want reconstructed in this way, leave it in the comments.